Good evening. You're now about to hear a true story of events, of facts behind the fiction. You're now entering parts unknown.
What's up, Ghosts and Ghouls? It's the one, the only, JT Ripper, and I'm here with
Todd of Thunder.
And today we have a new segment, Parts Unknown.
Parts Unknown. This is where we talk about the film, behind the film, behind the film, behind the film.
Of things that you didn't know about
The
film.
Yeah, these are not exactly going to be topics about the actual movie itself, but things that you didn't know happened maybe behind the scenes, or maybe you didn't catch something on, on a scene, or just some very interesting facts surrounding some unique films.
Yeah, so today, the movie we're going to be talking about is one of the most critically acclaimed scary movies, is The Exorcist.
Yep.
We figured we would start off the series with a heavy hitter, and what's bigger and scarier and heavier than Reagan.
Sit back, put your seatbelts on, get ready for some puking and pissing.
Yeah, get your tumblers ready. That didn't make a chingling noise like I thought it was going to make. And let's dive into this. So,
oh, yeah.
The first thing we're going to talk about is that The Exorcist is actually based on a true story.
Yeah, I don't know specifically which one, but I have heard that it is based on a true story. I have seen, I don't know how much I believe in Exorcist from a personal standpoint, okay? Simply because I'm very hesitant about the heaven and hell realms. So in order for me to believe in that and believe in demons and gods and all that, you know what I'm saying.
I get it.
But I find it very interesting. And, when I see people, most cases about exorcisms, first of all, you guys got to know what an exorcism is. You have to get power from the church to do an exorcism, and you have to study for years and years to even be qualified. And you can't just go to a priest. It's performed mostly by the Catholic Church, right?
Right.
So you can't just go and say, hey, my daughter, my son, my mom, whoever is possessed. Like, the first thing that they do is they tell you to take her to the doctor. Take her to a psychiatrist. Take her to this. Take her to that. They try every option first before a exorcism is even considered. And, much like in the movie, that's a real part, because they tried everything before they turned to the priest. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I'm not going to give the whole rundown of the story, but it's based off of an actual exorcism out of St. Louis in 1949. But it was a 14-year-old boy. And, of course, he was disordered, his body. He had incredible strength and talked as if he was possessed by a demon, which all of the witnesses there will vouch for it. So it was multiple witnesses to say that this is actually a thing that happened. So, and it was also based off of a book written about the exorcism. Next little item is Warner Brothers originally wanted Stanley Kubrick to direct the movie.
Well, I can't stand. I can't sit here and say that I love all Stanley Kubrick movies, but the two that definitely comes to mind is, of course, The Shining and A Clockwork Orange. And those are two very unusual films. Clockwork Orange, that's not even really a horror film, but it's shot so oddly, and the characters are so, kooky in it that it kind of seems like a horror film. So, but I can't imagine him doing an Exorcist film. I think it would have been a disaster, honestly, because I don't think Stanley Kubrick is capable of making a straightforward film without putting his odd fingerprints all over it. So,
Okay. Let's see. The next thing is that the movie almost had an entirely different star-studded cast.
Wow, do they list anybody, or
there were big stars that wanted to play the part? Franklin said Jack Nicholson, Paul Newman, and many others had interest.
Well, I definitely could find a role for Paul Newman. Jack Nicholson, I don't know. Like, you know what Jack Nicholson, know what role Jack Nicholson could have played?
What?
You know the guy who he was, in the movie, Reagan's mom is an actress.
Okay. Yeah.
And she's making a movie. And the guy was directing the movie was kind of an asshole. He came over to the party and he got pissed drunk.
Yeah.
And he was the one that they found him at the bottom of the staircase with his neck broke. Apparently, he went up to Reagan's room. It was an off-screen kill, but this is what set it off. Bert was his name. Bert. They found Bert, he was drunk, and apparently he went up to Reagan's room off camera, and she threw him out the window or whatever. Jack Nicholson could have played that part.
Well, apparently they didn't want a star to put on the priest collar. They wanted somebody unknown. But according to IMDb, the studio wanted Marlon Brando to star as Father Marlon.
He's a great actor, but I think who they got was fine. I think it was. I think the person who they got was absolutely wonderful and should have played the role. Marlon Brando. You know who Marlon Brando is, don't you?
Yeah, of course.
No, you don't. You lying.
Slipknot talks about Marlon Brando. You can't see California without Marlon Brando's eyes.
Marlon Brando was the Godfather.
Mm-hmm. Did you know that Linda Blair's mother brought her to the audition to the film without an appointment?
I didn't.
Yep. Just showed up, and Linda Blair came in at the very end, and won the hearts of them. Yeah.
Well, I know that the director of the film was very, very rough with all of the female actors because a lot of the roles had very physical stuff to do. So that scene when she's going back and forth on the bed, boom, 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 she's in a harness.
Yeah, she got back problems from that, right?
Yeah, not only that, but when she hits the mom and the mom goes flying across the room,
Yeah.
like they had strapped the mom to a harness to pull her back. And when they pulled her back, they really fucking pulled her back and she hit her fucking head and everything
Yeah,
else.
that's right.
And that scene in the movie where she hits her head and she fucking grabs it and she goes, ah! Like, that's real. That's not, like, acting. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Actor Max Vaughn, he was only 44 at the time, required hours of makeup to play an elderly father, Marlon.
Wow.
I did know that.
You mean to tell me the white-haired guy was
Mhm.
only 44?
Yep.
That's makeup?
Yes.
I mean, he looked every bit of 60.
Yep, it was makeup.
Wow, that's crazy.
I know, right? I didn't know that. Let's see. The film's bedroom set was refrigerated to create an authentic clouds of mist when the actors spoke.
Well, I didn't know that, but that's not surprising. I always wondered how, they walked into that room and it was so cold or whatever. So now they actually kept it refrigerated.
Yeah. I was always wondering how they, like, CGI really wasn't a big thing back then, and I was kind of wondering how they
No, that's
they
real.
did that.
That's real breath.
Let's see, the pea soup scene only took one take, thanks to Jason Miller's genuine disgust at being covered in fake vomit.
Yeah, that's not difficult to understand either. Yeah. I definitely wouldn't want take 35.
Although it's not mentioned in the movie, the demon, the exorcist, is named Pazuzu.
Yeah. I did know that. I did know that.
Right.
And I also know that the person that played that demon in those short scenes when you actually see the face,
Yeah.
it's actually a woman.
Yeah, I just recently found that out myself.
So, dropping some knowledge along the way of knowledge.
Right. Members of the cast and crew believe that the set was actually haunted and had a priest blessed it.
Yeah, I heard that they blessed the set because a lot of spooky stuff happening. A lot of coinky dinks.
Yeah. There was something you were just telling me about.
Yeah, there's an actual killer
In the movie.
that plays in this movie. You guys, in case you guys didn't know this, but when they send Reagan to the hospital to get tests to see what the hell is wrong with her, like a CAT scan of her brain and everything, those are actual real doctors. That's an actual real hospital. Those are not actors. And one of the guys who helps the main doctor is like his assistant. Well, a couple years after this movie was made in 1977, he ended up killing a guy. And they found the guy in his apartment. He broke down, confessed to killing the guy. Apparently, they were in a secretly gay relationship. And something happened, and he ended up killing the guy. So there's an actual convicted murderer that is a part of The Exorcist. And
Right.
you go back and you watch those hospital scenes and you pause, you can get a good look at his face. I believe he's the guy with the short hair and has the mustache.